Well, remember when you were a kid and the coach of whatever sport you played told you it's not whether you win, but how you play the game that matters? Well, forget all that. Sport is no longer about the glory of competition. Crikey, it's not even about winning anymore. It's about turning it into a springboard for the only real game in town, politics. Because while sport is played to specific rules that require dignity and mutual respect between opponents, politics is a free-for-all where rat cunning is the only tactic. And the prize? Well, if you asked Dan Andrews, the Premier of Victoria, you'd have to say it was to be crowned the most woke bloke in town. During the lockdown, Andrews did what most people thought was impossible. He evicted the biggest annual event in Melbourne, the AFL Grand Final, for 2 years, forcing 2 successive pairs of Victorian football teams to fly interstate to play the biggest game of their lives in front of a crowd of relatively disinterested spectators. Were Dan's woke fans mad? Hell no! They loved him for it. He was keeping them safe, you see. Andrews was at it again this week when he threw a lazy $15 million of money borrowed on the taxpayer's account at the national netball team, the Diamonds, after the team rejected a similar amount from mining magnate Gina Rinehart on the grounds that her father was racist. Let's be honest, Andrews doesn't care about the national netball team. Hardly anybody does. He just wants to score a goal against Rinehart, whose resource mining operations are anathema to his plan to switch Victoria over to the more woke forms of energy, wind and solar. And Dan slotted it too. Straight through the middle from outside 50, to borrow a phrase from a slightly more exciting sport. That's if you believe what the ABC says about the deal anyway. Rinehart's offer was specifically to go towards expenses incurred by the Diamonds themselves, not the sports administrators. On the other hand, Dan Andrews' deal, according to the ABC, is to, quote, promote netball at the elite level while delivering community initiatives to encourage grassroots participation in the sport, particularly in culturally diverse communities, unquote. Take that, Gina. Dan's got the culturally diverse demographic in the bag. But the ABC wasn't done yet. Quote, key figures within netball and various marketing experts independent to the sport have told the ABC the deal is a smart move. The experts also suggested that this deal was less about relying on government sponsorship as much as it was proving that sport and politics can and should mix, unquote. Well, hold the front page. Anonymous expert tells ABC journalist the government needs to spend more of your money on woke projects. If only the ABC and Dan, for that matter, were this enthusiastic about us going out and getting some exercise this time last year.